everyone. Welcome to Show and Share at Knox Makers. It's Tuesday night. We meet here every Tuesday of the year, rain or shine, holiday or not, and we're here tonight to show off things we've made, projects we're working on, something we've totally screwed up, and talking about upcoming events. I have a list here of people that signed up to show their thing off tonight, and the first one on the list is Daryl, who says it's a lamb. It says L-A-M.
Dot, dot, dot. It's a laminated workbench top. Let's see. So I usually work. Let's go a little closer. Where are you? Oh, that's terrible. But I usually work in blacksmithing and metal, so crossing over into the woodworking zone feels kind of dirty. But I did it because a couple years ago I bought a book called The Anarchist Workbench, I think it's called, and I decided to try to make that bench because I needed space in my garage and a good workspace. I was using a tool stand with a 2x2 piece of plywood on it as a workbench, and that was not great. So anyway, so I wanted to follow some plans because I don't know anything about woodworking. So here's the first bit. I glued up 3 batches of 6 8 by about 5.5 by about by 1 1/4 bits of boards. I glued up each set, and then I glued all 3 together. So that's what you see here with all the ensuing glue lines that I didn't clean up that I later planed off. But that's that. What that resulted in after planing was something like this, which for me is like a pretty decent. I know the real woodworkers here are scowling, but that's pretty darn good for me. I'm pretty happy with that. So after I got the bench top done, it's about neighborhood of, it could be anywhere between 160 and 240 pounds. I don't know. It's heavy stuff. So I had to mill and cut all the other wood for the legs and the stretchers between the legs and some shelf board. So that's that all cut up. Here's how I make the legs. 2 out of a 4-piece set of leg. 2 of the pieces are 3 inches longer than the others, so that just makes a natural tenon, which I'll have to drill a mortise for later. You cut a slot out of one of the legs to make a mortise for one of the stretchers that goes along the bottom. So then you can begin to see I'm having all these mortises and tenons. I've never made these, by the way, so I'm nervous and I think I'm going to mess it up, and it's going to be a disaster. But this one is at least easy because you just cut a 3-inch slice down and chisel out the rest out of one of your leg boards. Here I'm gluing a leg up. That's not super exciting. Thanks very much to Brian Greenhoe for letting me borrow these clamps, to Neil for letting me borrow some clamps, and Wes isn't here tonight, but he also let me borrow some clamps, without which I could definitely not have done any of this. I've got my legs, so they're glued up. They stand. I don't know how level they are at this point, but they're still not level. The bench is finished, and they're still not level, but we're, here's when I say stretchers, that's what I'm talking about, the long pieces that go between. So each of those has a 3-inch extra bit on the end, which fits into those tenons, or rather into the mortises that I showed earlier. Then I made a bunch of pegs. This is going to be drawboard together, so I've got to drill a bunch of holes through mortises and tenons and whack these pegs in. Here's what that looks like. So I've assembled the base. So the bench top, meanwhile, is on these plastic sawhorses in my garage that are bowing like this under the weight. So I made this. You got to tap the pegs in a little bit to get the base ready, and then you got to figure out how solo to get this base up on the bench top, which I did at some peril to myself. And you trace out where your mortises are going to go. Here's a look at one of the mortises, and then a couple of peg holes, drilled. Here you're going to see that real woodworkers don't look. That's my mortise. I somehow managed to, I don't know if I had the base crooked, like I measured 3 times. I was like, oh, I've got it. I was over a whole board on one of them. Like I was just crooked by a whole 1.25 inch width. So I made a little extra piece. I measured the distance. I just cut a piece in, a blank end to kind of help support the weight of the pulling of a peg. And nobody will ever know that who's not watching this because it's hidden under the thing. Here's the bench top. This is completed, banana for scale. Here's another little angle. Oh yeah, I put the boards in, the shelf boards just the other day, and then there's kind of the whole thing all laid out. So I had no expectations that this would come out anywhere near this good. A lot of flaws, a lot of things wrong with it. I see every detail, and I'm like, oh God, you know. But for me, this is really like, I'm very proud of this because it's an area I haven't worked in. Yes, I know, I've anticipated your question.
I'll ask that one in a minute. How did you hold the shelf boards in?
I put a cleat, just a 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 cleat around the inside of each of the stretchers, and then they sit on top and are screwed down. Yeah.
Okay, you know the next question.
I do know the next question. Russell likes to ask, how long did it take? And specifically for you, Russell. Yeah, this is not an exact accounting. I'm sure there are a few more hours. There are definitely a few hours I didn't manage to account for in here, and there's a lot of trips to hardware stores and all that. And there's some fret time, although most of the author of the book did most of the fretting for me. But I fretted a lot because this was beyond me. So anyway, I don't know. I didn't count it, but it's probably between 60 and 70 hours. And he ballparks in the book 40 to 50. And I'm like, well, for like a total noob, I'll take it, you know. So, and I'm so glad to be done. That's it. Yeah, Colin.
When you discovered the way you had to make a little insert,
Yeah.
how long did you spend swearing?
I spent the whole process using my whole vocabulary. Yeah. Yeah, Thea. Oh, right away. Like I used it while, like in making the legs, I was using the bench top on the sawhorses, and like I'm also working on a French cleat board behind it to hold my tools. So like I needed to hang a light up there. Actually, I should have got a picture. So I made a French cleat doohickey to hold the light, and use the bench. So so far, I'm really digging it. Yeah, Martin.
How are the plastic sawhorses there?
Thankfully, not bearing 300 pounds. They didn't break, and I've folded them and put them off to the side and promised them I will never put them under such duress again. Yes, sir.
Was it all pine? That was all pine?
Yeah, it's yellow pine, which is what the guy calls for. It's cheap. Man, when I started here, I didn't know what a planer, I mean, I knew what a hand plane was, but I didn't know what a planer and a joiner and all that was. And just the tools here, the access to all that has been like so great for being able to actually do this thing. I couldn't have done it. I mean, I could have, but it would have been a lot more really bad hand planing. So, yeah. Cool. Thanks.
Second on our list, we have Neil, who is showing rattle and roll.
First of all, Daryl, never point out one of your mistakes unless you're going to point to it and say, this was the most difficult part of all. I can't believe I pulled it off so well. That's what I always do. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, so here I am going to promote some more again about As the Lathe Turns. If you're not familiar with what As the Lathe Turns is, every third Thursday of the month, Randy, who co-instructs the wood turning classes with me, we just invite everybody over, all members. You don't have to have taken wood turning classes. There's no prerequisites. It's just come on in. We're going to be talking a lot about wood turning. If you're interested in wood turning, it's a great time to ask questions about it. It's a great time to see some examples of what we do. And sometimes we do demonstrations. This coming Thursday, day after tomorrow, the theme of that evening is going to be quick and easy. And what we're doing is we're showing some things, especially with the holidays coming up, that you can make very easily on the lathe. And I went out and decided, well, one of the things I'm going to show is I'm big into recycling or upcycling. Don't do that. And here's some of the items I'll be showing on Thursday night. Focus. Focus. Let's okay, try the other way. Let's see. Focus. I don't know. I was actually trying to do it upside down because I want people to come in Thursday to see what they really look like. So anyway, I brought a couple with me tonight just to give you an idea. This particular piece here is a regular old mason jar, one of the little mason jars, and just make the wooden lid that slips over the metallic lid. And this thing, I went over to AmVets and picked up whatever I could that I thought would be interesting. This was a whole whopping 79 cents, and it can be used for a spice jar, a little candy jar, whatever. And let's go wide. There's an, I'm going to try and have one with a slot cut in the top so it can be made into a little piggy bank. Okay. There are a lot of, as you can see there, I don't know what Randy's going to be bringing, but I can tell you everything Randy brings is incredible. So it's definitely worth it to come and see what else Randy's going to have. The other thing that I made real quickly is baby rattle. Little baby rattle. The tube here is some plastic acrylic. The handle is made out of beech. When my wife wasn't looking, I took some of the beads she uses to make earrings, and I used that for the rattle. So if you go looking for these, Karen, you know where they are. And then, so this being a baby rattle, I thought it might also be interesting to make a rattle baby to match it. And I don't know if you can see very well what's in there, but there's like all these little pink babies in there. Also makes a nice little rattle. So I am recommending, if you do make rattles, baby rattles, make it as a pair of two of them, because from experience with my nieces and nephews, they get tired of rattles very quickly. As they start getting older, they see the simplicity in it and they say, that doesn't impress me anymore, Uncle Neil. So I like to have two of them, because then when they're not being used as baby rattles, they make great maracas. So, any questions? Daryl?
Was your lid on the, was it threaded? Was your lid threaded at all, or was it just sitting on the jar?
Oh no, it's threaded. It's got the, like a regular mason jar does, just to seal it. You don't have to have that in there, but if you're going to have something that you want to keep fresh, that goes in there. Then the ring itself is glued into the top, so it is threaded, and then the little insert there. And of course, these come in all different sizes, so you can make whatever you want. What you can't see too well in this picture, there's a candy dish, there's a cookie jar. All these things were, I think the most expensive piece that I got at AmVets was $3, maybe $4. So you can make some pretty incredible presents or things you want to keep for yourself. And just turn a piece of wood and embellish it and make it look something special. Classes, I think there are 3 tickets still available for this week's, tomorrow night's actually, Wood Turning 202 class, which is the advanced class where we start doing lots of really fun, great things. And so if you don't have to take 102 as a prerequisite, but if you plan on taking 102 and you want to catch 202 now, you might want to do it, because we're not going to be offering these 2 classes again until November. We're going to be going every other month now instead of every month with the classes. So that's it. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
Last on our list tonight, we have Ryan, who's showing off this flyer.
My printer is broken at home, so I got it to print technically, but this is the first time I've actually seen it in person. But anyway, as everyone knows, Saturday, October 12th is the night market. I don't know which way is this way is. Oh wait, how do you zoom?
Sorry,
It's the night market. So, you know, we got Kill Switch, got food trucks, we got arts and crafts. Come on out. It's 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock here at Knox Makers, 116 Childress Street. Scan the QR code, we'll hang them up everywhere. And that's it.
How did you make it?
I photo bashed a lot of stuff, and everything else I drew in marker and scanned in, and then made it all black and white.
How long did it take?
It's not really a question how long it took, it's how much time did I have to work on it. So longer than I'm willing to admit. Oh, you're welcome. It's my volunteering, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Zoom.
We have a stack of those out on the hospitality table if anyone wants to take one and hang them up at their favorite place, or I can send you the file and you can print one yourself. That was the last share. To make up for so few shares, I have a lot of classes and announcements. Neil already mentioned the advanced turning class, which is tomorrow night at 6:30 as the lathe turns. If you don't know if you like lathes or not, you can go to that on Thursday night. You don't have to be a turner. You can just hang out and talk about it or learn about how a lathe works. This Saturday is a full day. There's stuff going on all day long. At 10 a.m. is how to make a lamp class by our own Russell, of course. Yeah. He's going to teach us his secrets. At 1 o'clock is Stitch and Bitch in the Fiber Arts. If you want to just chit-chat and hang out and work on your favorite fiber project, you can come do that. And then at 4 o'clock, there is a Moonraker authorization class in the classroom. If you want to learn how to use the CO2 laser, that is the class for you. Next week, Tuesday, after Show and Share is new member onboarding. If you're a trial member, if you're interested in becoming a member, if you just want to hear Isaac and I talk longer, you should come to that after Show and Share. Wednesday, we have a digital signal processing class at 6:30, which I think is being put on by Ray. And then Thursday is Intro to Electronics. If the digital signal processing is too far above your head, you can go to the Intro to Electronics on Thursday night. Both of those are at 6:30. And then next Saturday is alterations and mending with a machine. So bring in a project you have, some piece of clothing or some cloth item you have that needs fixing, and Thea and Sue will help you fix that and show you how to do repairs with a sewing machine. Coming in October, we have a couple bigger events, as mentioned, the market. But also with the market, if you can come and shop, you can come and hang out, you can come and eat food truck stuff. We also will be having Kill Switch, which is our robot battle. We had a preview sort of Kill Switch cardboard in the spring market, but we're doing the real actual Kill Switch this fall. So if you like to build robots, which you all should try, you should do it. You can come do that and fight each other and cause mayhem and sparks and chaos. If you don't want to build a robot, which you really should, it's still really fun to watch, so you should come see that. And if you are interested in building a robot, you're not quite sure if you want to, you can talk to John Dale. He just taught a robot class. He can get you hooked up with the parts you might need or the knowledge you need to get that going. Also in October, we have a spook show. So our Isaac will put on our annual spook show on October 19th. So save the date for that. You can RSVP on the website so we know how much pizza and junk food to buy. The spook show typically has a more family-friendly movie in the beginning for those with more tender ears and eyes, and then a more proper horror movie later as the evening goes on, if you are not afraid of violence and Halloween things. So that is on October 19th. I next will do announcements. My first announcement is Russell. Russell, I'm announcing you.
Thank you, Tracy. Also, at the market, there will be the judging of the lamp making competition. So last time we had, what do you call those things? lightsaber hilts. This time it's going to be making lamps. Neil's helping me get that together as far as judging and making it happen. Now, you think, well, what do I do? How do I make a lamp? Well, as Tracy said, you come to the, it's a lamp. Zoom out. It's a lamp builders class. That will be this Saturday, 10 o'clock. If you want to bring the base and or structure of your lamp, you may do that. If not, we will supply something for you to make your lamp out of. As long as you can get a 3/8 rod up the middle of it, then it can be a lamp. Now, you think, well, what do I do? How do I get all the parts together and whatnot? You will have this nifty lamp making kit as part of your class. So you will have wire, socket, finial, harp, all the things you need to make a lamp right in this handy kit will be supplied to you. So come on, make a lamp, enter it into the competition, and maybe you will win a prize. Neil is supplying all kinds of prizes, cash and all, right? Yeah, thanks, Neil. Yeah, baby rattles. Toby,
So do you have to sign up beforehand, or can you bring one at the market space?
you can bring one prior to the market for judging. How are we doing that, Neil? Tuesday before? How's it?
Tuesday, show and show before.
Yeah.
We'll check it in, assign it a number, take a picture of it.
Yeah, Tuesday before the market at Show and Share, bring it in. You will be assigned a number. That way people are able to vote on it. Members can vote in Mattermost, and then they will be displayed at the market for the general public to vote on as well. You don't have to come to the class in order to enter a lamp. You can make one at home, here in the shop, Neil's house, wherever you want to make it is fine, and you may enter that. Yes, ma'am.
The Tuesday before is October 8th, so people have a date.
Right, October 8th, yes. And with that, I would like to thank Aliki for keeping us straight with the market. Yes, thank you, Aliki, for making it happen. And yes, sir.
Are there rules?
There might be rules. They are posted in the lamp competition section of Mattermost. You can read the rules. And maybe I'll print some out and leave them on the hospitality table as well, so you'll know what the rules are. They are very loose. So not to worry, you can make a lamp out of virtually anything. We need volunteers for the market, so just let me know. I tried the dead tree method, left a list on the table in hospitality, but apparently all you youngsters like to do the electronic type stuff to sign up online. So we'll see if we can make that happen as well. A lot of people have come to me saying, hey, I can do this or that, or plug me in. We really appreciate it. We're going to need lots of help. So stay tuned in the All Members channel for opportunities and ways that you can pitch in to make this market a giant success. Okay, that's all. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you all.
Also, for volunteering for the market, you don't have to do like the whole thing. So if you want to come and just do for an hour in the beginning and then go shopping or watch robots for the rest of the time, that's cool too. Or if you want to volunteer your time outside of the market to do other types of things, we have social media posts, we have flyers, there's all kinds of fun things you could do. A couple more things. Gabe started a poll in the woodworking channel because our CNC machine, we're getting classes ready, and we'd like to gauge interest about how many people are interested in learning to use the CNC router. So go take that poll in the woodworking channel. There's a yes or no option. So if you hate the new CNC, you can click no. Also, there have been a lot of projects laying around, and if they don't have a name on them, we're going to start throwing them in the trash. So please work on your projects, finish your projects, take your projects home with you, or tag them something so we don't think that they're garbage. The more projects the projects seem to multiply, and then they have little baby projects, so we want to contain that. Air filters, I forgot to look. If someone wants to look at the air conditioner filters to see if they're gross and dirty, if they need to be changed, and also if you're new and you haven't had a tour yet, find someone with a red badge like Russell or John Dale, not me, and they'll show you around the shop. And that's all I've got, so go have fun.